This is going to be a very quick boxed cushion making tutorial for this box cushion. It's not going to be zippered. We are going to actually hand stitch closed. It's permanently closed, so you won't be able to take the cover off, because this is a follow-up to my French mattress video, which you can watch here. But with a French mattress, you can't take the cover off, so that's why we're making this cover so that you can't take it off. So step one is measuring your foam to determine how big to cut your fabric. A lot of people have different ways to do this. I like to cut my cushion covers the exact size of my foam. Some people cut theirs a 1/2 inch bigger. Some people cut theirs a 1/2 inch smaller. There's a lot of different ways to do this. I like to keep things as simple as possible. I just go ahead and cut my fabric the exact size of my foam. Now, if this foam had been wrapped with Dacron already, I don't measure the Dacron. I just measure to the edge of the foam. So this is a 14 by 14 square. So I'm going to cut my fabric 14 by 14. And then my boxing, I do the same. So I will cut my boxing 5.5 inches, because that's the exact height of my banding or my boxing, whichever you want to call it. This only applies if you're making a cushion that is, let's say, 30 inch by 30 inch square. If you're making a banquette cushion or anything longer than 30 inches or bigger than 30 inches, you need to adjust this. But we won't go into that now because we're doing a small cushion. That's advanced stuff. Cut this 14 by 14. I've already got my fabric doubled up face to face, right side to right side. And I'm going to cut this 14 by 14. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the selvage first. I think it's always a good idea to cut off your selvage, because the weave on the selvage of your fabric is different, and if you keep it on, it could potentially cause your fabric to take up differently on that edge. There we go, the top and the bottom. And if you had fabric that was directional, you definitely want to make this mark it. That's the front. And that's the front. Now we need boxing, and we need to go all the way around this cushion. 14 times 4. Okay, as it turns out, my fabric is 60 inches wide, so I didn't even have to seam together 2 pieces for my boxing, so that's excellent. So then the next thing that you need to do is mark your centers on all of your pieces. And the quickest way to do that is to fold your piece in half. Make sure you're lined up on the edge. Make sure your pieces are all nice and lined up, and just go ahead and cut a little V-notch out of the center of your fabric so that you have your centers marked with a V-notch on all your pieces, making sure that your pieces stay lined up perfectly to find that center. Now we've got all our centers lined up. Now we'll go ahead and pin this on. Now this is the front of my sofa, or the front of my cushion. We're gonna start sewing at the front so that our seam is in the back of the cushion. Okay, so right sides to right sides, you've got your centers marked, so go ahead and line those up. And I like to go ahead and pin. I'm not gonna use my walking foot sewing machine, so I'm gonna go ahead and pin these. If you have a walking foot, a commercial machine, you don't need to pin. You can just sit down and start sewing. Although I do find you get less creep if you pin. Okay, so we're gonna get to the corner, and I'm gonna cut a little snip a 1/2 inch in on my corner, a relief cut. Rotate that piece around the corner and pin it. Pinning takes a lot of extra time. If you're a beginner, it's a good idea to pin. And if you're doing a big cushion, this could add a lot of time to your project. Okay, so we'll go ahead and a 1/2 inch in. We'll put another snip, rotate that fabric around that corner. Okay, same thing over here. See how nicely that opens up that corner? We rotated it around and we'll stitch down and across there and around. And I'll show you that at the sewing machine. And then we'll bring these to the center, line those up, and then we'll pin that. Okay, so then the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna notch the corners. And the way that I'm gonna do that is, so in this corner, I made a little notch there in order to get the fabric around the corner. We're going to go around that corner and then pin that. But before we do that, we need to make a corresponding relief cut on the other side of this boxing piece so that we know that when we are sewing the top panel on, our corners are going to line up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this back right at that notch that I cut out here, making sure this is nice and parallel, and then I'm going to just do a little relief snip there so that now I have that, so that when I put on my top panel I can match my corners. This corner will match this corner. And once you do a few cushions, you'll see why that's so important. Inevitably, those corners will shift around and you'll have a wonky cushion and you'll wonder, why is my cushion wonky? So you've got to match your corners, and I'll do it again on this corner. Okay, so I've already got my relief cut in this corner, and I'll go ahead and fold this fabric parallel to itself here, bringing this notch right to the fold, making sure we're nice and parallel here, and then I will cut a little relief cut there. And we'll turn this corner, lining up my edges. Here we are at my sewing machine. This is the front of the cushion. This is the back of the cushion where my seam is here. And I'm going to start from the center and work my way around to the back. And then I'll flip it over and work from this center around to the back. I do that just because if there is any shifting in my fabric, because your fabric, when you don't have a walking foot, your fabric inevitably shifts like this. So you have to work from the center out. And I almost always will backstitch in the corner just to strengthen my corners, because there's a lot of pressure on the corner. So I dropped my needle down, lift up my foot, rotate this, fold that back over, drop my foot back down, and continue to sew. And as you can see, I sew over my pins when I'm making cushions, because if you take your pins out, your cushion will shift if you don't have a walking foot. And I'm not going to go all the way to the center because I have to sew this seam first. Now I can pick this up and I'll stitch from pin to pin. Now you can see that that's a perfect distance. So okay, so I've got the box sewn. Now we're going to put the top on and we'll sew 3 sides. So I'll sew, actually I think I'll sew 2 sides, the front and one of the sides, and we'll leave the back and one of the sides open so we can stuff our cushion in, and then we'll hand stitch that. So here's my top piece. I've got my arrow, so I'll make sure that that's towards the front. I've got my center cut out and marked, so I will match this to the center here and pin it. And then I can bring my corner over to this corner, and I know that that is lined up, so I'll put a pin there, a pin in between. Okay, that's straight across. Let's see if this corner lines up. Looks good. That lines up nicely. And this corner lines up nicely. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and stitch 3 corners shut and leave a side and a half open, essentially. So I've got this side pinned, and I pinned around this corner, and I'll do maybe a couple more pins on this side. So we're gonna leave it open across this back and part of this side so that we can stuff the cushion in there. So I'm actually gonna sew on the boxing side so that I can see my corners better, which means I actually put my pins in the wrong side of the fabric, but that's okay because the way I put them in sideways, it's all right if I sew over them. It will look and feel like you're never gonna fit it, but it will fit. Get your corners all pushed out and into the corners neatly. Get all of your seams pushed down towards your boxing or your band. Pretty well in there. Now we need to pin this shut. That's got to be pushed down. This folded over a 1/2 inch, this folded over a 1/2 inch, and then pinned. Which seems impossible, but once you get it started, it works. I'm going to go from this edge into the corner. Same thing. So that looks good. The corner looks a little funky, but I'll just stitch that. I'm not going to pin that. I don't need to do that. I'll just stitch it. Now we're going to do a quick invisible stitch. There's my thread. I'm going to drop my needle in directly across on the other side. Bring that needle back out, 1/4 inch down or up. And then directly parallel to that on the other side of the fabric, drop my needle in, bring it back out about 1/4 inch up. And as you can see, we're starting to form a ladder here. And now I'm going to pull this tight, and you'll see how that just closes that seam up. I'll show you. I'll take this pin out. I'm gonna have to kind of hold that shut with my fingers. So now, it's hard to do it in film. I'll drop my needle in parallel to where the thread came out, bring it back up about 1/4 inch up, do the same thing here. And we'll go ahead and pull that, pull those stitches shut. Now we're to the end, and I am going to just tie a knot in that, but not all the way to the end. I'm gonna go like 1/4 inch. My knot is right there. I don't want to tie it all the way down. I'm gonna give it like 1/4 inch. Then I'm gonna put my needle through the seam there and just bring it out up anywhere here. Pull that knot inside of the fabric and then cut it off there. Work some of that dacron into that corner there. And if you can't get it to work into the corner, you can take a needle and kind of push some dacron into that corner and like kind of fluff up that corner. I can do that on this type of a fabric. Obviously, you got to be careful what type of fabric you're using, but that'll plump that up nicely. There's my little 14 by 14 cushion that is now ready for French mattress edges. If you are wanting to do a French mattress and you want to know how to do those side seams that create the French mattress look, can watch that video next. I'll put it right here and I'll see you over there.